Welcome to the Peabody podcast. Today's episode, we're going to review translation. We've actually got a special guest today, and that is Theo. We're going to break down the tracks and talk about the album as a whole. I'm really excited for this episode because it was really fun to make, and I really hope you enjoy it. So, enjoy.
Starting with Ritmo, I gave Ritmo a 9 out of 10. And my opinion on this song is that it's a great introduction to the album. And even though we've heard it since October, heard it so many times, I've never gotten sick of it. It just has really good beats, and I think Keith Harris and will.i.am did really good co-producing it together. It's a great song to start of the album, and I like the fact that it was used in the Bad Boys movie as well.
Yeah, I was kind of the opposite. When I first heard it, I wasn't too into it, but now when Mamacita came out, I've definitely enjoyed it more. I agree on the fact that it's a good album opener.
The first time I heard it, I was confused, so I just didn't understand it well, so I had to listen to it again. And I think the second time I listened to it is when it really clicked.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely one of the best songs they've done, recently. So, yeah, it's a good track.
I thought it was really good as well. I gave it a 10 out of 10 simply because of like how well it's done.
Yeah, I agree.
As well as it being a good song, even if I put given it a 10 out of 10, just because of how long it's still been like on the charts and stuff. And I felt like the mix of English and Spanish mixed well together.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Same.
So do we want to go on to Feel the Beat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I give Feel the Beat a 10 out of 10. And simply because this song is just my favorite off the album. It just seems to fit perfectly as the second track on the album, and it kind of reminds me of Rock That Body, not like it's sound-wise, but the style and writing-wise. I also said that Maluma's verse makes the song very special, and I enjoy that sample. I forget her name's Lisa something in the band Full Force. The sample's really good. I have more to say about this song. I said my favorite verse is by Tab, and I want to give a shout out to Ben Moore for doing a really good job directing the video.
I really like the transition from Ritmo to Feel the Beat. I was kind of shocked when it came on when I first listened to it. But the music video is great. I love it. Just the overall vibe of that is great. Maluma's verse is great, but then again, I don't know what he's saying because of the whole different language thing. But I could still say it's great. About the sample, it's a cool sample. What did I write? It's by Lisa and Cult Jam and Full Force.
Yeah, that's who it was.
And to be an Apple's verse, definitely Apple's verse is my favourite from the whole song. So that's what I have to say about Feel the Beat.
I thought it was an alright song. I gave it an 8 because I just felt like it was a bit too sexual.
Yeah, I understand that.
I can agree with that.
It was catchy. Yeah, but it was catchy chorus, and like Jess's vocals were like on point.
Yeah, I like the fact that in the video it's actually her singing it, but on the actual track it's the sample. I found it interesting.
It's two different versions.
Yeah, they didn't do that on Ritmo, but they did it on Feel the Beat. It's just interesting. It was cool.
I didn't realize there were two different versions.
Yeah, it took me a couple listens to realize it, but yeah.
There's a few differences. I've noticed about 3 differences from the music video to the actual album version.
The opening, like Will.
It's Hey Mama all over again.
Yeah, Will says something different. Yeah, I noticed that.
Okay, Mamacita. Okay, so I gave Mamacita an 8 out of 10. And I said Mamacita holds a special place on the album to me because it's the first song that I posted on my I Try Behind the Sun account. And I really appreciate that they credited J. Soul as a feature artist on this track. It's really started her career as a new and upcoming artist, and I appreciate that they gave her that credit for it. Also, I enjoy the production. It was the first song that Will collaborated with Johnny Goldstein on, and the keyboards in the pre-chorus really, they're really cool.
I didn't rate any of the songs, I've just realised, but I really like Ozuna's voice on this track. I think he's one of my favourite artists that they've collaborated with on this album. I kind of realised that Ozuna did a performance on Jimmy Fallon, and he did Mamacita, and I don't know, he just has something like, he just seems like a real good performer, and so I really like Ozuna on this track. The production on the track's really, really good. I'm obsessed with the production. And I've started to see that this track's like being more popular. It's like another lead single with Ritmo, being with on the Late Late Show with James Corden, and it was on the a UK show. I forgot what it was called, but I've seen it like this song spread quite a lot online. So, and the music video is really good as well. Like the budget of it, and they went all out on that music video, and it's just great. So yeah,
I thought I gave Mamacita a 9. So it was like really catchy, and Jess's vocals again were like on point, and Apple's verse I really enjoyed, and I just feel like the song would be good at parties and stuff.
Yeah, Apple has a lot of
that
cool
kind of
verses on
vibe.
this album. Yeah, I was just saying, Apple has a lot of he does some cool things with his verses on a couple tracks. Mamacita being one of them. Also Feel the Beat.
I've seen that he's got more like time on this album. Like he's been featured a lot on this album in terms of like, verses and stuff.
Yeah.
To do as well.
The only songs he's not on, I think, is Tanta Love and Duro Hard. No, he's not on that one.
Yeah.
But he's on everything else too.
Mm.
Get Loose now, not really, but all right. So Girl Like Me, are we ready for that?
Yeah.
I gave Girl Like Me an 8 out of 10. And I wanted to start off by saying I never knew that Shakira was producer. And she co-produced the song with Will and Johnny Goldstein, and that's
cool.
just amazing. That's pretty amazing to me.
Yeah, I really
enjoy the rhythms and how Tab mentions "Your hips don't lie" when he says "Your hips don't lie, they rock me."
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's a very well produced song. And yeah, one more thing I was just gonna say, it's a very well produced song, and for people that don't know, it took over 10 years to make.
Oh yeah, I know that. I heard that.
10 years, did you say?
Yeah. I'm honestly, it might have been more than 10 because I think Will said they started in 2008, right?
Yeah, they had the idea for like 10 years, and then they were going to put it on Willpower, and that didn't work, and then they've come up with it.
I feel kind of bad with my rating now.
It was originally going to be for the end, but the end's vibe is so not for that song. It wouldn't fit at all. I mean, there's no featured artist on that album, so it wouldn't really make any sense.
No.
Yeah.
So I think it fits perfectly on this album.
I'd say I don't know what I could give it. 8 out of 10 probably. I'd give it. It's one of my favorites from the album. It actually this track reminds me of the end. Now that we mentioned it, especially Apple's part, the Latinos bit when he came in. I don't know, it reminds me of the end. I don't know how, I can't describe it, but it just gives me end vibes, like how it switches up from that Latin beat and then Apple comes in with his verse. I love Tabu's verse as well. The drums, for some reason, stood out for me on the production. Like, I don't know, it just sounded really, I guess, some point, like when I listen to music, like stuff like that sticks out to me a little, but the drums were really cool. So yeah, that's all I say about Girl Like Me.
Yeah, very good production again on this one by Johnny and Will, and yeah, the drum programming was very well done.
I feel bad now because I gave it a 6.
Because
I like the chorus is catchy, and like the beat gives off like positive vibes, but personally I feel like it's one of those ones where it would sound better with a music video, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure.
I feel like, and I know they're doing a music video for it. I think so. Once they do that, my rating would probably change. But I liked Apple's verse on it as well.
Okay, so Vida Loca. This is a very unpopular opinion. I gave Vida Loca a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
So I have a long story about this. So I'm just not overall. I'm just not a fan of this song.
Yeah.
I don't think the sample fits very well. The MC Hammer sample, I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't click for me with this song.
Yeah.
And I think this song has too much. I think it should have been focused on either just Nicky Jam or just Tyga. Nicky Jam, I think, honestly would have been better on a song. Maybe like a song like Action. I'm not sure if that would make sense, but something like that. And I do enjoy Tyga's verse over Nicky Jam's on this song. And no
Yeah.
disrespect to it. It's just like it's not one of my favorite. I would have rathered this. I would have rather have like a stronger song be the 5th track on the album.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Well, what I put in my notes as of now, probably my favourite song on the album. So I guess I could give it a 9. But I don't know. It's something. I don't know what it is. It might be the sample that I like. I'm probably opposite, but I like how it's quite fast. Like it hypes me up in a way. It's like it's just a real good beat, and then Taboo and Apple's verses are like right at the end when they're like, I feel like they're proper going for it in terms of when they're like rapping. Yeah, it's just a really, really good track. Chorus is really catchy, and Jessica's J Ray soul, just amazing on that track. So yeah, cool song.
It's one of those songs you either like really like or you really don't like. It's
Yeah,
like
true.
you can either really like it or you can really just like doesn't click.
I gave it a 9. Essentially, everything that Charlie said is also my opinion.
Yeah.
But I just like the sample of "You Can't Touch This." I don't know. I just really like that. Considering I've never actually listened to "You Can't Touch This," I really like. I just really like how it fit, and it's definitely like a party song, and like live. That I think it would be really good live.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, I think I'd rather hear it live than just listen to it. I think that would. I mean, also another reason I don't like it. I mean, maybe it's because like I've heard that "You Can't Touch This" song so many times in the U.S. I mean, that could be a reason. It's just there's something about it doesn't click. I don't know what it is, but all right. So No Mañana. I gave this song a 9 out of 10. It's absolutely one of my favorites, and I think it was a great idea to release it as a promotional single. It gave us a great sneak peek of what the album would sound like, and it introduced me personally to El Alfa, who I've never heard of before. And the introduction to the music video was really, really perfect to have for that video because it was like right when the album was announced. And I think this song is Will's best singing on the album.
I'm opposite again. I'd probably give it 5 out of 10 because I mean when it came out, I really, really liked it. I guess it grew on me a little bit actually. I didn't really like it straight away. But when the album came out, it didn't stand out to me as much. I feel like all the other tracks kind of like I liked them more than No Mañana, but it's still a good track, and the music video is really good as well. I really enjoy that. The beginning reminds me of like some sci-fi, like Stranger Things or something like that.
Yeah,
But,
it's like Stranger Things and Star Wars combined.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, it's a good song. I'd give it 5 out of 10.
I've given it an 8 because, like, you know, as you both have said already, like the start of the music video is kind of like a movie. You know, the chorus is really catchy as well. That would be another one that would be really good live. And I liked Apple's verse quite a lot. I don't really know why, because there wasn't. After listening to it again, there wasn't really anything that made Apple's verse stand out. I just think I like his voice. But when I saw the music video, I'd never heard about El Alpha, so he kind of scared me a bit. the way he looked,
like a vampire.
I just like that was unexpected.
I like how what they did with Tab's verse because it was cool. I mean, it was auto tuned, but it was interesting. It added something different to the song.
Yeah. When they slowed it down, because I thought it was a Will, and then I was like, "Is it Taboo? Is it?" And then I sped it up, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, it's Taboo."
Yeah, I couldn't tell until you told me. I think
Yeah.
Okay, so Time to Love. This was so hard for me to rate. I've been back and forth between a 7 and an 8, but I went with an 8. and because I was very surprised that this song only features J Ray. However, I absolutely love that. Literally she kills it. I mean, it's just it's hard to explain, but like I think she really did amazing on it, and I love the theme of it as well. One thing I'm not a huge fan of it is that it seems a little repetitive. I I think I would have rather have a verse from like one of the verses be from Apple, maybe just to like spice it up a little bit. But overall, it's a great song, and a shout outs to J Ray for killing it once again.
I really like it. It's grown on me since I first listened to it. I didn't really think too much of it, but only like last week, I've been like listening to it a lot, like on repeat. I'm just glad that they've let her have her own track, like just her on her own, not Will doing backing vocals or anything, just her. And I think if they released it as a single, it'd be a big hit, and I think it would end up making, famous, like on the charts and stuff, because it sounds like a chart song, and it sounds like something that would even get played in the UK, in my opinion, like on the radio. So
yeah,
so I'd give it 7 out of 10.
yeah, that's fair. I gave it a 6 because I like the beat a bit. Like I think the beat goes well with the chorus, but like not the rest of the song, which is a shame because Jess's voice is just amazing. But I skip it quite a lot.
And is that the part of the beginning? That's like a, I don't know if it's an auto tune verse or I don't know what it is. It's probably something. It's probably like a
In the intro,
production. Yeah, I just
think
didn't understand. Like,
I think it's
is
just
that?
pitched down. That's all.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay, Celebrate. I gave Celebrate a 6 out of 10. It's not my favorite off the album, but I do enjoy how it splits the album in half.
Yeah,
It gives
I
us a
can
good
see
like
that.
halfway mark of the album. But like again, like Vita Loca, I don't really enjoy how the sample was used. Conga by Gloria Estefan. Um, it's a good song to listen to if you're in the mood. If you're not in the mood for like a wicked upbeat song. And it's well produced. I like the horn section and I like the keyboards in the chorus. Very well produced.
I really like it. It's I thought it's the first track to have no features on the album, and it reminds me of like summer. Like, it's a real good summer track. Like the whole album is, but like for some reason, for me, Celebrate like just makes me feel like I'm on holiday. Production's great. I said that the chorus sounds familiar, and that's the sample that everybody that bit.
Yeah.
That's the sample. I'd give that 8 out of 10, but it's a good track.
I've given this a 5. It's like the chorus is catchy, but I think that's just like the only upside to the song, really. I feel like the verses could have been a lot better than what they were. Just seemed kind of like just they started writing it and then just couldn't be bothered and was just like, right, first thing that comes into my head, pop that down.
Yeah.
But like the beat's good, and the chorus is catchy, makes me want to dance. But then it gets to the verse and I'm like,
Yeah, Will said that originally it wasn't going to be J Ray singing it, but I'm glad they put her on it because I don't think we needed another feature because that would be 8 features in a row on an album, and I think it was just good to have J Ray sing that part in the chorus. Toto Bueno. Okay, so I gave this an 8 out of 10. I think that piece of 21 works really well. The song reminds me a little bit of Mommy, the single released by Piso 21 last summer. Just from how it was arranged and how the verses are structured, but I still prefer this one over Mommy as the chorus has a different beat and it's pretty cool. My favorite verse is Apples. It's very unique and very well written.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I really like this track. I didn't really like it at first, but now it's become one of my favorites. PSO 21. They did a really good job. I like their feature on their album. I like Apples and Will's verse. That's actually probably my favourite verses on the album. I don't know why. I've got no reason for it, but every time it comes on, I just really like it. So there's nothing really I've got to say, just apart from that it's a really track. Yes, 9 out of 10 for that.
Yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10 as well. Like I feel like since Mammy was released, and like when Will said that there was going to be another Piso 21 feature for the album, I was just so excited, and like it didn't disappoint. Like the chorus is awesome, the verses are awesome, definitely a party song, but it has meaning as well. Like Will, the last verse, which I think was Will's, where he's like saying like no matter whether he's like feeling down or whatever,
Yeah,
you never see him complaining.
that's why it's my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a song that, like, if you're feeling like down, it can easily pick you up. I mean, Todo Bueno means all good. So, Duro Hard, I gave it a 9 out of 10. It's a very close second for my favorites on the album. And I think Becky G fits the song just perfectly. And her verses are my favorite off the song. I do like, one of my favorite parts is when Will's vocals start out auto-tuned. I think it's after the chorus, and they go to like his normal pitch. It's pretty cool. And this is one of the only songs with Out Apple, but Tab has a really good verse, and the intro is very unique. And it's again very close second for my favorites.
Okay, I like the track, but I'd probably say 5 out of 10. I mean, from this point in the album, it kind of goes like, I wouldn't say downhill. It's just like every track from this point forward doesn't really. I kind of lost interest. And I don't want to sound like really like harsh or anything, but it's a good track, and I really like Becky G's feature on it. It reminds me like
I can agree with you on
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good track. Probably 5 out of 10 for me.
I think it should have been used, put on like. I think maybe that and Vita Loca should have been switched. I mean, you guys probably disagree because you like that track, but
Yeah.
I'd give it a 5 because like I don't know whether it's because I have a dirty mind or not, but I just think it's quite sexual.
Yeah.
And I don't really like sexual songs if they're supposed to be kind of like party songs as well. It just for me, it doesn't really fit. But like, it's one of those ones where I wouldn't skip it if it came on, but I wouldn't choose to listen to it. And it's catchy as well, which I kind of don't like with this because I don't like it. But I know it's catchy, so it still gets stuck in my head. And it's like, even with like Smell Like Funk from Elephant, I don't really like that, but it's so catchy.
yeah, that song is so catchy.
Yeah, like that grew on me. So I think with time, this will grow on me as well. Yeah, 5 out of
10. So Theo, you just said you didn't like the sexual song, so I assume you don't like My Booty, which is the next track.
Oh God.
I gave it a 6 out of 10. This song goes a little too far with some of its lyrics. But regardless of that, I think the beat and rhythms are pretty cool. Some of Johnny Goldstein's best beats, I think, but I'm just not I don't like all the lyrics. And I'm really hoping they don't release the music video because I know they'll get a lot of backlash for that. Yeah, I like how the song was sung in 3 languages, but like, I don't know, it's not my favorite off the album.
No, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I feel bad for doing this, but I'm probably gonna say 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. This song I really can't listen to it. Like I can't listen to it all the way through because I don't know. I don't like. There's a part in it where I think it's Apple's part, and he's like robot voice or whatever. It's like a really weird effect. That bit doesn't work for me. And then Apple's like
that doesn't work.
Sexual lyrics. Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't gel with me. I'm just not. I just don't like it. But everybody's different. I just thought it was too like sexual, but even the lyrics in terms of what you were talking about was cheesy. Like it just wasn't great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't really have much else to say. I just hope they don't release the video. That won't be good for them.
I gave this a 9, which, after what I've said previously, doesn't add up. But I feel like when I was listening to this one, to me it was a bit sexual in like places, but everything else is, you know, like the chorus is catchy, it's got really good beat, good mix of English, Spanish, and Filipino. I feel like it would be great parties. And at the end, what I noticed yesterday was that it had, like fades into "I Woke Up."
Oh yeah, that's a
I
very good
didn't notice that before.
transition.
Yeah, I never noticed that before, and it was like, yeah, I thought it was a really good transition. So I feel like all of those good things for me overtake the sexualness. So I can kind of get over it.
All right, so on to I Woke Up. This was another hard one to rate. I wrote down a 9 out of 10, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's my favorite track out of the last three before News Today. I really enjoy J Ray's vocals. I think they're an essential part to the song. And the person who produced this song is named, I'm gonna pronounce this totally wrong, but it's Revision. And he has an interesting rhythm to it. But yeah, I mean it's a good song. Not one I'd listen to all the time, but it's a good one.
Yeah, I would give it 4 out of 10, just because it gets repetitive a bit. I feel like will.i.am's auto tune's a bit, you know, extreme at times. I think the beat is quite repetitive as well. It just kind of loops, you know, over and over and over quite a bit. But you know, it's a good track. I mean, I wouldn't choose to play it if I had an option, but like if I was just listening to the album all the way through, I'd you know, let it play. But it's an alright track.
I gave it I gave it a 10, but after looking through looking through my notes again, I'm gonna put it down to a 9. Because like, overall, I think it's a really good song. Like the beat sounds hypnotic, but like in a good way, if that makes sense. And there's a really
Yeah.
catchy chorus.
All right, so track 13, Get Loose Now. I really enjoyed this. I gave it an 8 out of 10, and I was very surprised to see a song like this on the album. And I wrote down I would have expected Explosion to be on the album in this song's place. I like how it switches to that cool guitar rhythm randomly, which is pretty cool. It adds
Yeah, I
some
get that.
to it. And I like how it's not really too symmetric, and it makes it's a good song overall. I mean, it's not one that I was expecting on this album, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I think
I
that's
mean,
Will. I think that's Will's vocals too. I couldn't tell, but I think it's Will's vocals on it
yeah, I
too.
wasn't sure if it was Taboo or Will. I wasn't sure. I think it is Will. I like the track more now because I've kind of understood why that might be on the album, because you know the Zoom things I've been doing recently and the dance to it. I feel like that song was made for that, purposely for them to dance to, like, because they've always done songs that they've, you know, made to perform live, like Behind the Front was made to perform live. And so that gives me a feel that, you know, at festivals they've made that to perform and dance to instead of just to listen to, because it doesn't really work if you just have it on in the background. It needs to be like a, you know, a party or something like that, because it gets too
Yeah,
repetitive. I just feel like it's a song to dance to. Yeah.
It's giving me some cool ideas for like if I ever make like another Black Eyed Peas Evolution video, or if I add on to mine, I have some cool ideas to edit with that song.
I gave it a 7 out of 10 because like you both said, you know, it's repetitive. So you know, for average listeners, could get boring relatively quickly. But I feel like it would be good at a concert to get everyone up and moving. But yeah, it's not really Like, in my opinion, anyway, it's not really like a song. It's more of just like an interlude or like an intro to action.
Okay, so Action, I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's not my favorite to listen to, but it's a very good song for the album. And I was talking to Manar one day, and she kind of reminded me that, I mean, this song is kind of like the Pump It of Translation. It's going to be very fun to jam out to at concerts. And I mean, one thing I would have liked to see at the end was a verse by J Ray, because I feel like the song doesn't have it's very repetitive again. But if they had gave J Ray a verse, kind of like Fergie's verse on Pump It, it would have been more of like an 8 or a 9 for me. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. It's not my favorite, but I do enjoy it.
I enjoy it. I'd probably say 7 out of 10. It is a little bit repetitive, but I really like the beat of this one. It's quite I could listen to that like so many times and you know, it won't get boring for me. But yeah, and I like everybody's verse on the track. It's just a really good song. So yeah,
I gave it a 10. It's my favorite song in the album, apart from Ritmo. I feel like it would have been great as a single, to be honest, because it's just so
Yeah, I can
like
agree with
I
that.
don't know. It's just so like you said, like pump it vibes. You know, just like yeah, just really catchy and
Yeah, I think the
yeah,
music video will make me like this song a lot better because they said they filmed
yeah.
one. So the last song on the album is News Today, and I gave it a 10 out of 10. You really can't ask for much more in this song. Pretty much every time I hear it, I've cried. That's just being totally honest. Um, it's a song about what's going on in the world right now. A song that everyone will feel uplifted when they hear it, and it's just there's nothing more you can ask for. They did amazing with it. Even though it's not Latin inspired, it fits the album very well. One thing I like about it is that they brought Will Apple and Tab brought in Ben Moore to help write it with them. Because it shows how BEP is a big family, and Ben Moore has been a part of the Black Eyed Peas family since the Alpine Clan days.
Yeah.
And the guitar throughout the song is very well done. It deserves a 10 out of 10 just because everything about it.
I'd say 10 out of 10, just because I just love it. Ever since I first heard the track, I already knew that it became like my favorite, just because like just how they all work together on the song. How it's just guitar and then there's like the drums in the background, and just everything about it. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like the whole track, I got emotional every time I listened to it. Gets me emotional, and just the fact that it just covers everything that's happened like this year, you know, like with COVID and everything. And yeah, it's just great tracks. A 10 out of 10. It's just amazing. It's great.
Again, 10 out of 10. 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, like definitely needed right now. Again, brings tears to my eyes, and the beat suits the tone of the song a lot. I'd say, Matt, when you said there's not much more you can ask, I disagree with that. We need a music video for this, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think a music video of them honestly just like sitting down, got George Pahone doing the guitar in the background, like something like really peaceful and calm would be really nice for this song. Bring the whole crew together. Get Keith Harris on the drums. I think it'd be really, really cool. So that's the tracks. I don't know if you guys did anything about the 2 bonus tracks. I people listening who don't know, the Japan edition and the Target edition includes 2 Ritmo remixes. One is with Jaden Smith and one is with Steve Aoki, if that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, the same thing I said about Ritmo. Great track. We've heard these remixes before, but yeah, just wanted to talk about those a little bit. Do you guys have anything to say about them?
I haven't listened to. I haven't listened to him, so I can't really
Okay,
comment.
yeah.
I've
Yeah,
listened to the Jaden one, and I thought I'd give that like a 9 out of 10. It was alright, and I like, yeah, but other than that, yeah, you can't really. I don't think you can say that a remix is better than the original one. So 9 out of 10.
Yeah. And the Steve Aoki one was released with 4 other remix tracks on the Remo Remix EP released in December. Yeah, it's a good remix, but it's like just another Remo remix. So do you want to do the overall album rating?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll start. So I gave this album an 8 out of 10, and that's for multiple reasons. The first one is that I can listen to this album any day, anytime without getting bored of it. Secondly, every song has something really special, regardless if I enjoy it or not. There's something special to every song. And I rated this album based on all 8 BEP albums. And I said it's my 4th favorite Black Eyed Peas album. However, it's very closely tied to my 3rd favorite. I enjoy all the collaborations. I enjoy the production by Will, Keith Harris, Johnny Goldstein, and there's some other producers, Maki, Revision, DJ Ammo. And additionally, I love how J-Rig was incorporated as not an official member, but as a feature artist on 2 songs and as an amazing vocalist on 5 others. And of course, there's always some things I would have liked to be different, but overall, it's an amazing album by the Black Eyed Peas, and I think it's something we all needed during this time of our lives.
I'd give it. Well, if we're talking about out of all the albums, I'd have to give it 6 out of 10, or maybe 7 out of 10, just because I think it's honestly a great album, and I love it so much. Every track. As an album together, it works well. You know, it's the transitions and everything, and the whole Latin vibe. I mean, this is something that they've never really done before. Obviously, they've done Latin inspired tracks, but to go and do a Latin album, you know, every song being Latin, and then go to the Latin charts and everything. So, in terms of that, in terms of the meaning and the fact that they've come back as a trio and started, you know, getting more popularity and stuff. That's why I like it. In terms of music, it doesn't really live up to like other albums, but I'd definitely say that it's better than Masters of the Sun in terms of production, and it just reminds me of the End and that kind of style in terms of production. But yeah, it's a great album. I love it.
I've given it an 8 out of 10 as well. Like as a whole, it's it's amazing, but I was like, some songs let it down a bit, but that's gonna happen with every album. Has a couple of songs that aren't gonna be liked. That's why they're not released as singles. But compared to other BP albums, I feel like as a comeback album, it's definitely, obviously Master of the Sun was supposed to be their comeback album, but that didn't chart. So yeah, it's done better than Master of the Sun already. But I prefer Master of the Sun. I don't know whether I prefer it or it's like on the same kind of level.
Yeah,
I like
Master. About it now.
I like Master of the Sun songs because, well, like the majority of them have like proper like meaning and stuff, and like Constant is just such a vibe.
Yeah.
And then with this one, it's more vibes and then some meaning, which is still really good. But I think it's on par with Elephant and Master of the Sun, in my opinion, and The End. They're all like my top, goated BEP albums.
And then we gotta also look forward to J. Ray Soul's solo album, which I'm hoping comes out.
Yeah, that'd be
soon.
cool.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm just looking forward to when Corona buggers off and then BEP can do live concert and stuff again.
Yeah, even to see them perform online is cool. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I don't see them again, but UK dates probably won't show up.
Yeah.
Because of the Latin vibe they're going for. But,
Yeah, they
I
must
suppose
be
in a sense, in a sense, I suppose like the way things have turned out, like in that regard, have been good because at least they know kind of like they have more of an understanding now of who likes that, so they could probably like do more dates in those places that really enjoy it, and then less in the others.
I just wanted to do a show in the US, but I don't know if that will happen anytime soon. But I mean, they were so popular here when the end was out, but I was so young, so it wouldn't have really would have been hard to see them in concert at like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, same for me. So
I only started listening to Black Eyed Peas in like end of 2017, start of 2018, and my dad's for my birthday got me tickets to the Master of the Sun tour. It was my first ever concert, and it was a first ever concert. It was a Black Eyed Peas one. Like I was so happy and excited. And when we got there, we were like one of the first people in the queue, and my dad was like, "Oh, should we go get some food quick to the McDonald's around the other side?" And I was like, "No, we can't lose our space." And I'm so glad I said that, because half an hour later, the queue had gone around the whole entire like arena to the other side where the McDonald's was.
Yeah, that happened. You've got to be quick.
So yeah, but when we got inside as well, because I'm not really like a social person, and I don't really like crowded spaces and stuff. So we were like right at the front, and then obviously everybody started piling in, people trying to push to the front. So I was just like standing there, like I was so like squidged in. And I suppose it's helpful that I'm really skinny in that sense. Otherwise, it was so good to see. I think I've got tinnitus from that though, because ever since then, there's been a ringing in my ears.
So thank you everyone for listening to our review on Translation. And thank you to Theo for joining us on this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we're gonna try to incorporate guests frequently on this. And Theo, you're welcome back anytime. So thanks for joining.
That was the review. I hope you enjoyed it. That was really fun. I kind of like doing this whole like going into an album and talking about every track and giving ratings and stuff. But we're going to do that for every album. We're going to go from Behind the Front to Masters of the Sun. We're also going to be talking about some other stuff, some highlights from the career, like tour moments and just random stuff. And also, if you want to, if you've got any ideas for the podcast, make sure you DM us on the Peabody podcast on Instagram. Thanks for listening.